Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, please accept my
Hare
mudra.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. ज्ञानस्तिवनन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जन श्लाघ्य चक्षुर्मन्तं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पार्षदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Right, Hare Krishna. So welcome. Today is the last week, right? And we're supposed to get on with chapter number 5, which is Karma Yoga in action. So let's have some action. Like everything has action, but like this Karma Yoga in action means actually this Karma Yoga when it is being practiced with Jnana Yoga and how some of their aspects they are directly Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So let's okay. You see, where are we? Yeah. So, okay. So that's the small summary you see over here. Outwardly performing all actions, but inwardly renouncing their fruits. The wise man, he's talking about the wise man. It's not talking about the devotee, you see. You have to be very, very careful what Prabhupada uses. Wise man, okay, not the devotee. Devotee, because it's not about the devotees, it's about people other than devotees. Okay. So, by the way, what do we understand by the term non-devotee? Did we discuss that non-devotee? Did we have discussion on non-devotee? No, yes, no, maybe.
No, no. We discussed about devotee and a pure devotee, but not
No, not
non-devotee.
non-devotee. Oh, okay, we discussed about devotee, pure devotee, not non-devotee yet, right? So non-devotee. See, in English, you see, uh, what would be like, do you find any difference between these two terms, non-devotee and not devotee? Okay, Shubham Prabhu seems to agree. Go on, Shubham Prabhu.
Prabhuji, actually, we discussed this, and non-devotees are like karmis, jnanis, karmkandis.
Exactly, Karmi Gani and yogis, yeah,
They are
basically.
non-devotees, and not devotees are the person who are atheist, basically.
Yeah, he's not a devotee. It's not a devotee. When you're talking about non-devotees, of course, they are not also devotees, but non-devotee is a category in itself. It talks about people who have chosen path other than that of devotional service. Karmis, jnanis, yogis, that's like non-devotee. That's like a non-devotee. So, but like when you say not devotee, it's just like, like non-different and not different. Non-different means like achinda bheda bhed. But when you say not different, that means it's same. So these are subtleties, but yeah, I mean, nevertheless, they need to be taken care of. They need to be understood in the proper. Just like that's why the discussion came because the proper mention here is wise man. See, the Prabhupada is mentioning the term wise man. So he's not using the for devotees. That's like those who are wise, who have got wisdom. And who has got wisdom? People have wisdom when they have got experience. Okay. So what do you call that? How do you have good experience? Sorry, how do you have good judgment? Go on, Vaibhavi Maji.
When you experience bad situations.
Yes. So in order to have good judgment, you must have bad experiences. Okay. And in order to have bad experiences, you must exercise bad judgments. So bad judgment leads to good experience. And good experience leads to good judgment. So it starts with judging. You start judging and you'll have bad experience. With bad experience, you'll have understand what is a good experience. Have good experience, they will have good judgment. And that good judgment makes you wise. Go on, Shubham Prabhu.
Prabhuji, how can we understand the difference between judging and fault finding?
Fault finding is different. Fault finding means like you have, it's like basically you don't like the person. Fault finding is not about finding the faults, just like to prove the person that he's faulty because you don't like him. You see, but yeah, judging is like you don't know. You have to take a decision, then you must like take a decision. So for that, you have to make a judgment. What is good, what's not good. So yeah, to do that, so you have to exercise. It's like a lot of bad judgments to have good experience. Have good experience, and you'll have good judgment. You have good judgment, then you are a wise man. So he's here, Prabhupada is talking about wise man. It's good. So it's there. Purified by the fire of transcendental knowledge. You see, now the wise man is also purified by the fire of transcendental. You see this term purified. What does the term purified means? All these things, these are very specific terms Prabhupada uses. Purified. You must have heard thousand times Prabhupada is using the term purified. What do you understand the term purified to be? Pure, purified. Go on, Shubham Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I think it means his reactions to the karmas are like gone.
That's the context, this particular context. Jyotimaji, go on.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandar Pranam. What I understood is that there are many anarthas in us. So those anarthas starts reducing gradually and until it gradually
That's
goes
that's
away.
that is pertaining to a person, but I'm just talking about the term per se, pure, purified. Okay, Tulsi Maji. Let's try.
Hare Krishna, I think his heart is clean, purely clean.
Huh? Yes, that's there. Wait, there was Krishna Priya. I think Krishna Priya Maji raised her hand. Yeah, Krishna Priya Maji. Before I
With
go
good
to
intentions. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
with
With
good
good
intentions,
intentions.
that's called bona fide. That's bona fide. Anyway, good. Pandit Gadadhar Prabhu. Let's
Hare
say
Krishna,
this.
will you please accept my obeisances?
Absolutely.
Pure or purified means the tendency that we have to commit nonsense activities and all is ceased and will become pure. The no more hankering or no more tendency to create
It's
incorrect
not
or
wrong. It's not wrong.
unethical activities.
You were quite similar to what Jyoti Maji said. It's not inherently not wrong, but okay, Vaibhav Maji, let this last one. We need to move ahead.
Prabhuji, purified in my terms is can be it cleansed of all the anarthas, all
True, it's
the
cleansed.
hunting and hatchery.
Just
It cleansed.
cleansed,
It's
just
cleansed.
cleansed, just
Cleansed.
cleansed. That
Cleansed of
means
all the negativities.
inherently it is not clean. Inherently it is not clean. Not even that, Jyoti Mataji. That's not necessarily. It may be, it might include Jyoti Maji, what you have read, written that might Mataji written that getting back to the original state that it might include that. Pure means that which is inherently pure, and purified that needs to be made pure, that it is inherently not pure. You see, it's just like fire and fiery. You see? Fiery means that an act like fire, but inherently it is not fire. So when we say purified, then it is inherently not pure. the soul is never, never, never purified. It is inherently pure. Only the heart can be purified, mind can be purified, senses can be purified because they are inherently not pure. And when you say the term purified, it means it can go. What is the maximum limit of purification? In this world, what is the maximum limit of purification? See, these words are very important. Like, just use like this and like, and they have got their ramifications. When we say the term purified, that means it takes like that. It means that we are taken to the level of sattva gun, because that is the maximum state possible within this world. Purification is categorically different from spiritualization. When we say the heart is purified, it doesn't mean the heart is spiritualized. The mind is purified, it doesn't mean the mind is spiritualized. Whenever the term purified is used, that means you're talking about to the maximum of sattva gun. Okay, just like when you are like an article is purified, something is purified. It means it is taken to the from the tamagun and rajagun to sattvagun. That is called the term purified. So all these specific terms, like make note of them, because when you read and you use these terms and like you see the meaning of the sentence changes. You see, purification doesn't mean spiritualization. Shuddha and siddha, to say the Sanskrit words. Purified means shuddha, shuddhikaran. It is not siddha. Siddha means then you are like beyond the three modes. All right, so even before we started, we like had some, what do you call that, glossary? Yeah, we had some glossary. Okay, transcendental knowledge attains peace. You see, shanti. That's why we were discussing shanti is not a material object. Shanti is a spiritual object. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti is Shanta, is free, is 0, 0. Okay. Then other qualities, detachment, forbearance. And you see, that's why he has got spiritual vision and bliss. So here, bliss is like Ananda, then we can talk about. Okay? That's that Ananda is the Ananda of the Brahma. Brahma Ananda. Here, the Ananda which he's talking about is Brahma Ananda. Okay. So let's move and we shall see how like basically how we basically came, because like Arjun is talking, like hearing about so many things. Krishna is talking about jnana, and that specific thing, action in inaction, and inaction is action. That was the state of jnana. So like not that we are confused. Arjuna was also confused. What is he talking about here? So there's things, and he's also Krishna is glorifying jnana. He's also glorifying vairagya, and then he's like, that's exactly what I was talking about, right? And then he's saying, you fight. So now Arjuna is opening up with that kind of question: what is better, working or renunciation of work? And that means karma in action, karma yoga in action. That's the idea. Totally like karma sannyas. And he's talking about that. So now he's talking about something which is coming closer to devotional service. So that like what is like more beneficial, what is more practical. So yeah. So with this, if you see the handbook, if you have your handbook, you see. So karma yoga is equal but easier than renouncing work. Wait, let me open it for you here. Okay. You see, the same question as I said. What is better? Renunciation or work? What is better? So let's have the first 6 verses and then we gradually will move on to the other verses, right? I believe we should be feeling able to finish this chapter. It's a small chapter, just 29 verses. I need a volunteer, preferably somebody who didn't read and would like to read.
May I
Sometimes,
read?
like there are devote. Mahashya, okay, go on. Wait, wait, Mahashweta, wait. Yeah, here. Yeah, Mahashweta.
Okay. Arjuna said, O Krishna, first of all, you ask me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial?
See, now Arjuna is smart now. He is not exactly saying I'm confused. He said that in 3rd chapter. Now I said, tell me what is more beneficial. It's like smarter way of putting the same thing. Okay. All right. Now Krishna is answering. So then one question is answering practically the whole chapter. Sarma Sannyasa Karma Yoga. Yeah. Yes. Please go on.
The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation, but of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work.
You see? So here, it's just like even in 12th chapter, you will see Arjuna will ask this question, what is better? Is impersonal path or the personal path? So similarly, here he is asking, and Krishna is answering. There also Krishna will answer in 3 verses, like impersonal is more tough, is tougher than the personal path. Here he is saying, both are good for liberation. If you are looking for liberation, both are good. But work in devotion service better than renunciation of work. Karma sannyas, like, and work in devotion service, it's better. That's why it's like action in Krishna consciousness. That's why the chapter is known as action in Krishna consciousness. Okay. So, all right, let's see. Prabhupada is giving so many quotes from Bhagavatam here. 5th canto. This is like Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj. Yeah, today he is giving teachings to Rishabh Dev is giving teaching to Bharat Maharaj. I'm sorry, and the 100 sons. Go on. Aman, Mahashweta.
One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty armed Arjuna.
You see, here in this whole verse, do you see anything related to devotional service? Any limb of devotional service? See this translation and you see any devotional service. Does anybody see anything right in the verse translation? Prabhupada is giving a devotional purport. The verse itself. Jyoti Maji, go on.
Prabhuji, like a person who is in pure devotional service, they
Yeah,
will
yeah,
can only,
if he is in devotional service.
yeah, if
Is the
he is in
verse, yeah, but is the verse talking as such about devotional service? You see anything devotional service here? If you don't go to the purport, just on the strength of the verse, you see. You see anything close to devotional service. Nishta Maji, go on.
Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Correction, Snapna Maji.
Prabhuji, over here specifically, they have used the word such a person. They have not anywhere in the translation has mentioned anything to do with devotees, and they are specifically focusing the fruits of his activities is known to be always renounced, as in doing something but not taking that
Yeah.
would be Karma Yoga.
It's talking about liberation, basically. You see? So these are the qualities of person who can be liberated. So it's a you see that's even it's a tall order actually, but that tall order also is it takes you towards liberation. So even for liberation, this much is required. So he's saying free from all dualities. So it's just like neither hates nor desires. So then, the same thing, shochati na kangshati. You will see gradually, we will see, we'll come to the level of the Pandita. We'll come to the level of Pandita and we'll see that. Okay, good. So you see, all this called even without devotional service, these are the qualities that are required if somebody is looking for aiming for liberation. You see, that's what Prabhupada is talking about. See the last sentence? Being free from the pratfall of dualities, he is liberated even in this material world. So, yes, go on. Mashika.
Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, karma yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both.
So now you see this verse. Shankha yoga pratak bala pavadanti na pandita is saying, you see, ekam api astita samyak ubayor vindate phalam. So a person who sees Shankhya and yoga means devotional service as different is not very intelligent, only the ignorant. You see? So here the word yoga actually means working devotion. So you see here the word for word, Shankhya and yoga. So person that the analytical study of the material world and working, they go hand in hand. That's what we were discussing in second chapter, you see. So Pavaditi the Pandita, and who is a Pandit? So there are so many characteristics of Pandita. Nanu Shochanti Pandita, that was 211. Okay. Shochati na kangshati kind of. Okay. Pandita, one of the qualities of Pandita is he doesn't have lamentation and he doesn't have Shochati and kangshati. He doesn't have like insecurity for the future. That means the Pandita at this essential quality of a Pandita means a person who learns to live in the now. He doesn't live in the past, he doesn't live in the future. It's good to know the past, learn from the past, and it's good to plan for the future. But that's not a good place to live. So if you start living in the past, or you are always thinking, oh, this is going to happen in the future. So, what's going to happen in the future? There was this, anyone heard of this story of the potter and his plans? Prabhupada mentioned this story. I'm just reminded of that story. Have to hear a story at this point? Okay, and let's not have the story then because nobody's interested.
No, please.
No, it's just like
Nothing good.
Okay, then there was this potter. So he used to have in those old days, they used to have their own pottery. They will make their own potteries and then they will sell in the market and they will, earn something. So they used to make those pots. So he was sitting just like now in India, it's like so much, like even in Pakistan, it's just like sweltering heat. So he was sitting there in the sweltering heat with just a small thatched hut, and then he was selling his pottery over there and was just waiting for some customers to come. And when you are sitting there, like in the afternoon, sometimes you start dozing because of this extreme heat. You start dozing. So he was like kind of dozing, and while he was dozing, like he started dreaming. So this today, this customer came. Giamaji knows the story. She's already smiling. So anyway, so this potter, there was this customer who came and he purchased all his pots, all the like pots and things, everything. So he was very happy. So then with all those money, he went out. He made more pots and then also bought other pots. So that the next day, even more pots, all the other, similarly, the same other pots, they were also sold. And he made even more money. And then again, the same thing happened. He made so much money. So then what happened? So then he was thinking now, and it's obviously he's dreaming. So, and he's thinking with that kind of money, now that girl in front of who stays in front of me, the daughter of the washerman. Okay, so I will marry the daughter of the washerman. So when the daughter of the washerman, she's a very beautiful girl. So certainly she won't agree to marry me. So she will refuse. When she will refuse me, I will kick her. Okay, how dare you refuse me? And he kicked. And he opened his eyes and he saw he actually kicked, and all the pots were gone. Okay, so that is Shochati Kangshati. That is Kangshati. So you have that kind of Kangshati, all your pots are gone. So it's a good thing to always dream, always plan, but not to live in the dream, not live into plan. So we should always hope for the best, but we always prepare for the worst. Hope is not a strategy. Okay, so that's like the Pandita means he lives in the now. Na shochati, na kangshati. And then here, Pandita is who is a Pandita? Doesn't know. He's talking about the devotional service, and he thinks the study of the analytical study of the material world is different. A person who is talking about, seen that we see so many times. Material knowledge, spiritual knowledge, material knowledge, spiritual knowledge, material knowledge, spiritual knowledge. And we are looking for spiritual knowledge and let the material knowledge go to hell. That is called ignorant according to Bhagavad Gita. According to Bhagavad Gita, according to Ishopanishad, you will see Vidya Avidyam Shaiva. It goes side by side. It must go side by side. Okay. Shankha Yoga Prithakbala Pravadanti Na Pandita. And then we will see the functional aspect of the Pandita in 18th verse. And he says Samadarshana. So these are like, for the Pandita, these are like, progressive things. Progressive things. He doesn't live in the past, doesn't live in the future. Then he understands the material and spiritual worlds side by side. Therefore, as a result of that, he becomes Samadarshi in 18th verse. Okay. That's something. So yeah, Shankhya and Bhakti. Okay, let's move ahead. Please go on. Mashita.
We have already read this.
5-5. No.
No? Okay.
It's 5-4. Yeah.
One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are.
You see, this is called seeing as it is, just like it's Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is called seeing as it is. This is called nothing. The seeing, has got nothing to do with the sight. Okay. The seeing of the Bhagavad Gita, or the seeing as we understand while practicing spiritual life, has got little to do with sight. Okay. Just like Bible says, we walk by faith, not by sight. It's like that. We walk by faith, not by sight. We don't. It's a very realistic situation. You don't bike because you can see, because we have faith that we can walk there. We can put our feet forward. See? So even the blind person who doesn't have eyesight, he walks. Why? He doesn't have sight, but because he has faith. But okay. So we walk by faith, not by sight, actually. It's a real life scenario. Anything that is the basis of any work. All scientific discoveries. Everything, even the atheist who says that, oh, you don't require this. Faith. Requires faith. In order to move in this world, you will require faith. That's how we see. So that is what it is, Shraddha. So that Shraddha, that is what we call like worldly faith, Laukika Shraddha. But there, nevertheless, faith. And here, what Krishna is talking about is Shastriya Shraddha. Faith in the words of God. Faith in scriptures. Okay. So here we see, as we see this, let's go back again. Position is reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service. So therefore, you see the analytical study and devotional service on the same level. So those that basically it talks about there's so many issues of the practicing devotees. Those who are obviously they are not very advanced. They're like generally new devotees or neophytes, Kanishta. They talk about like faith without analytical study. And those who do not like devotional service, they focus on analytical study and they do not want to include devotional service at the same level. So it's just like the lame man and the blind man. Both has to be combined. As we discussed that the Sankhya is like the studying the root of the tree and Bhakti is like watering the root of the tree. Both things. So similarly, Sankhya and Yoga, you see. So, Ya Pashyati Sa Pashyati. One who sees this sees that as it is. And this is called seeing as it is. It is not seeing as it should be. Okay. As it should be is very dangerous in devotional service. You have to be very careful about it. Because as it should be, if you start stretching it beyond where it should be left at, then it give rise to utopia. That's why one must be be careful about not to fall into the trap of utopia. Yes, last, Mashwata.
Merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy, but a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay.
You see, thoughtful person. It's not talking about a devotee, you see, wise man, thoughtful person, because this is the place from where you make the transition to devotional service. See? So you have got renunciation, but that is not enough. So the renunciation, this is a very good start. This gives us a springboard, you see, to jump towards devotional service. So there in Bhagavad Gita, you will find many places from karma where you can jump to devotional service, from jnana and devotional service. You see, from tyaga, you can come to devotional service. So these are like various stages from where one can switch to devotional service and can achieve the supreme without. You see, that's why it's saying supreme. It is not saying supreme personality of Godhead. Brahma. You see, Brahma is achirena gachati. Brahma. It is not Bhagavan. Why? Because he's on the Jnana mark. Renunciation is on the Jnana mark. So from Jnana mark, he can come to this, the Muni. You see, the thinker. He is Muni. He is not Bhakta. Jnana Marga Muni. Okay. So therefore he can come to this stage. He can switch. All right. So then now we are seeing how karma yoga is like action, like you add devotional service into that. That's better than renunciation. You are seeing this. Okay. Now let's see what is the nishkam karma. Okay. What is nishkam karma in its own right? What is a nishkam karma? Okay. Is working as a matter of duty, kind of thing, like when somebody is working as a matter of duty. Mashoda, continue. Sorry, would you
Yes.
like to continue? Okay.
Yes, please.
So Daya raised her hand. Yeah, go on, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have question.
No. There's a question. She's not reading. Yeah, go on.
In purple, there is written Panch Charakriti regulations. What does that means?
Oh, yeah, Pancharatika. Wait. All right. This is, of course, a little technical for you at this point. Let's see. So it is talking about so many things here. It's talking about the Bhagavad school. Okay. Bhagavad school. And it is also talking about the Pancharatrika regulations. So the Bhagavad and the Pancharatrika, this is basically what we called, we will learn more about this when we go to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar Devotion. Pancharatrika is another name for Vidhi Bhakti. Vidhi means regulated devotional service. When you go by the devotional, when you are executing the devotional service on the orders of the spiritual master or on the orders of Shastra, you don't have so much liking for the devotional service, but you have got liking for the person who's telling you to like execute devotional service, which is in this case your spiritual master, or you may like the books which talks about devotional service, means like say for example Gita, Bhagavatam or Vedas, it's talking about devotional service, and hence you are doing that. You on your own, you don't have a liking for it. That is called Pancharatrika regulations or the Vidhi. And Bhagavata school, it means that like there are regulations, you know the regulations, but you are not doing that because there is a regulation. As if there would have not been any regulation, you won't do it. You will still do it. You are not forced. Just like when you are like in your childhood, you were forced to go to school. And then you started liking the school. Of course, not because of the school, but because of the other things in the school. Okay. So, but nevertheless, you like going to the school. So in the same way. So Bhagavad means it's also called Raga. It's called Ragamar or Bhagavad school. And this is Pancharatrika or the Vidhi school. Both are schools. Both schools are part of devotional service. I don't know how much did you gathered at this point in time. Don't worry about it. It's good that you are introduced to this. So that it happens. Like sometimes I'm introduced to something, and after some time I get the hang of it. So gradually you'll get the hang of it. Why Bhavi Mataji? Okay, we still have another hand up. Go on.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I have a question that some of Pancharatrik regulations and services are taken from Shankaracharya philosophy.
No.
Hmm.
Pancharatra has got nothing to do with Shankaracharya.
Mhm.
Shankaracharya is completely different. Prabhupada is talking about Shankaracharya because he's talking about the Vedanta commentary on Vedanta Sutra. That's why he's discussing the Shankaracharya's commentary called Shariraka Bhashya. But it has got nothing to do with Pancharatra, is not contemporary, it's devotional service. Shankaracharya never touched anything like which is close to devotional service. He was a very smart person, you know.
Thank you.
So, okay, I thank you. Yes, Mahashwata, please go on.
One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled.
So this is like a mission statement, you see? It's like when we say that this is a mission statement, and then later on we get the details how to reach there. But this is like, this is like a principle. I'll get the details, and then you then you reach a conclusion. It's like an introduction and a conclusion are generally the same, and in the middle they tell you how we would reach there. Okay, so it's like a mission statement. So for the works in devotion, who is a pure soul, controls his mind and senses. Obviously, if he can work in devotion, if he's a pure soul and he can control his mind and senses, naturally he will be dear to everyone. Like, what's new? You see? But that's the point. That's the point. So it's very difficult. Dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. So there, like our Goswamis, Shad Goswamis, they actually say it's like going into this, that not necessarily that he will be dear to everybody, but everybody will be dear to him. That's for sure. That's called Ajata Shatru. That he doesn't have any enemy. But that doesn't mean people won't, like some people might even treat him as an enemy. But at least he doesn't treat anyone as an enemy. You see? So it's like that. So always working, such a man is never entangled. Obviously, how will he be entangled? If he's working in devotion, he's a pure soul, he's controlling mind and senses. So he won't commit a mistake. How will he be entangled? So it's just like a, like very puritanical statement, if you may say. Yes, Nishtamaji, go on.
And Krishna Prabhuji, over here, this work and devotion means karma yoga, right?
Karma yoga, but this karma yoga is like, now it's like mixed with devotion. You can call it Bhakti Mishra Karma. It is called Bhakti Mishra Karma. That means there is karma, is working, but there is devotion mixed into it now. Bhakti Mishra Karma, which is diametrically opposite to what we call Karma Mishra Bhakti. We will come to that in 9th chapter, not today, not now. What you are reading is Bhakti Mishra Karma. It's just like, there is like you are cooking sabji and you have put in some salt. Salt, Mishra, sabji. Okay. So the bhakti is the salt and the sabji is the karma. So the quantity is the karma and the quality is the bhakti. But another time it can be that in 9th chapter you will see Yat Karoshya Datnashi. It will be Karma Mishra Bhakti. So then like there is salt and within salt you have thrown in some sabji. No. Let's not have salt now. You have got sugar and within sugar you have thrown in some paneer, some, like some, what we call in Bangla, we call it chana. Just like that. You see, that's it. Now it's like sabji and you have thrown in some salt. Okay. Bhakti Mishra Karma. So you're seeing this. Okay. Let's have 8 and 9 together. Mashita.
A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them.
Telltale sign of Gyanmarg. And not possible without Sankhya. Classical, if you want to know what is Gyanmarg, how does the Gyanmarg works, this is the verse. Most, I would say, one of the most like spectacular description of Gyanmarg. And how he's using Sankhya here. Person in divine consciousness. You see, it is not saying Krishna consciousness. See the difference? When Prabhupada is giving the translation, he says divine consciousness. When he gives a purport, he says Krishna consciousness. Because Prabhupada is not sitting here to teach us Gyan Marg, he's teaching Bhakti. But since Krishna is talking about Gyan Marg, so if we are saying that it is as it is, so we'll have to tell you as it is. So whereas the translation, it is as it is, when the purport, Prabhupada goes as it feels. Krishna feels it. Here, as Krishna speaks it. Okay. Therefore, it's divine consciousness. Why? Because there's no Krishna right now in this. It's divine. So what is it doing? See, these are the things when one read and it's very confusing. It's like engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, eating, smelling, moving about, breathing. Practically whatever we do in our daily life. Everything which we do in our life. Only knows within himself. So what is the point? The point is not doing or doing. The point is to know. And that this knowledge, this know is a daily practice. Daily practice. So the person who is on the Gyan Marg, when he is eating, okay, we had this incidents where Krishna and Durvasa Muni. Know the story of Krishna and Durvasa Muni? I was just reminded of that. Just like, not exactly. Krishna and Durvasa Muni? No. Yes, Shubham Prabhu, go on.
Is it related to Draupadi where he gave the
No. Oh, no, that's different. That's different. That was different one. Yeah, that was there, but that was different. Yes, Pandit Gadadhar Prabhu, go on.
Prabhuji, does this narration involve Rukmani Devi as well?
No. That is, that's different. That's like, yeah. That was not Durvasa Muni, that was Narad Muni actually. Yeah. Why Maji?
It's when Krishna gave Draupadi the Akshaya Patra and he told
No, he
the
already.
rishis to stay.
No. That Shubham Prabhu already mentioned one. This is a different one. Yes, Jyoti Maji. Go on. Jyoti Maji, go on.
Prabhuji, I don't remember it exactly, but what I remember is that Krishna had.
Where is she? We lost her? We lost
Mataji is on
Jyoti
mute.
Maji.
Mataji is on mute.
Jyoti
Oh,
Maji,
sorry.
you're muted yourself.
Hello.
Go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
So he like Krishna told that okay, I am the greatest brahmachari, and he told to feed Durvasa Muni, and in order to feed the Durvasa Muni, she was supposed to cross the river, as far as I remember, and
Yes.
if in order to cross the river, she has to tell that Krishna is the greatest brahmachari, and when she went to Durvasa Muni, and she fed him very nicely, and after that Durvasa Muni told that he never eats anything actually.
Yes.
Something in this context.
Yes,
Exactly means
that was exactly the same thing. It's when Krishna, then when the gopis were trying to cross the river, the Yamuna was like very high on because it was like practically flooding. So then Krishna said, okay, the Yamuna will give you the path if you tell Yamuna, all the gopis, that Krishna is a brahmachari. So the gopis were all laughing at him, but brahmachari.
yeah.
We know you in and out. So then, but then they said that, and Yamuna gave a path.
Yeah.
So then they crossed to the other side. There was Durvasa Muni sitting there. Durvasa means what? The name Durvasa means Durvasa. Durva means the Durva grass. You see? And Sa means who drinks the sap of the Durva grass. He won't eat anything. All he would eat is the sap of the Durva grass. That's all he will eat. How much sap do you have? And many of us must have tried this, like sitting in the park, tearing some grass and like chewing that. How much sap does this have? Hardly anything. But that's what he would use to drink. That's it. Durvasa. So then this gopis, all of them, they carried this thousands of pots of sweets, curd, milk, all of that. And eat all of that, whatever was there. That's like inhuman. How can you eat like that? It's like hundred elephants eating all of that. They ate everything. And then they went back to the Yamuna, and they said Krishna is a brahmachari now. The Yamuna is not giving the path anymore. That's like finished. Then they went back to Durvasa and said, like, we need to cross back. Please help us. So he's like, how did you cross here in the first place? He said, like, Krishna told us to say this. Krishna is a brahmachari. We said that and then crossed. But it's not working anymore. Then Durvasa could understand. He smiled and he said, okay, fine. You go to the Yamuna and say that Durvasa doesn't eat anything except the sap of the Durva grass. Then when he said that, they were equally astonished. But now this Durvasa, they cannot say anything. They couldn't even laugh. They simply went away and then they said that, and then the Yamuna gave way. Then they came on this side, and Krishna was waiting. What happened? And you and your guru both are like cheats. Yeah. So, but the fact is what? That this is the verse where it justifies that you eat, but you don't eat because the soul is not eating. So when you are eating, if you are thinking, I am eating it, you are accruing the karma. So this practice while I am eating, that I am not eating, the body is eating. It's a very difficult practice. It's almost impossible. And the test of that, like the epitome of that, of this was shown by Janak Maharaj. That's why Krishna is mentioning Janak in the previous chapter. See? Because Janaka, he showed that thing. But when it was tested, that if he is detached or not, whether he is detached or not, this said in one of the Puranas, it's a Tamasic Purana, of course. But it said that Janaka was sent to, I think, heaven or something like heaven. And he was given something to eat on his, he said that like, it should be there, but you don't have to eat it. You cannot eat it. Something sugary, something like that. So he like circumambulated the whole heavenly planets and then he came back and there was not even a drop of saliva on his tongue, which means completely desireless. When you want to eat, the saliva naturally comes. You see? So that much control of the sense. That is possible when you are that much convinced that I am not this body. I am not the subtle body. I am not eating. This is not sweet. What I'm eating is not sweet. What I'm tasting is just a sensation, not sweet. It's just like, you will go crazy. That's why when you talk to a person like that, young market kind of people, this is a madman. Because he's talking on a completely different platform. And he not just talks about it, he lives like that. So that's why it's like, that's why it's very difficult. That's why Krishna is saying that this is very difficult. Okay? You see, while speaking, evacuating, only the material senses are working. This is the most difficult part. So there have been so many jokes, like this King Akbar and Birbal jokes about evacuation and things like that. So, you see, it's very difficult. All right, let's go ahead. We have a chapter to cover. Go on, Mashwatan.
One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water.
Oh, See this um, analogy. This is lotus leaf. This itself is an analogy. Of course, it's also part of your like closed book analogies, what you know. So Padmapatram Ivambasa. Padmapatram Ivambasa. So this is like lotus leaf untouched by water. It's like if you have seen a lotus leaf, like I mean in Delhi, most people don't see the lotuses. So, but like if you come here in Mayapur, you can see. So there's so many lotuses growing, like growing around wildly in Mayapur. So it's just like a little, like the water is there and it is floating on the water. So if the wave comes like that, lotus goes only that much. Even the wave cannot touch the lotus. You know, it's placed such because the root, it's not tied down to the bed, the river bed. That's why even if there is a like wave, the lotus will go like that. So the same distance is maintained. So you can see that like if you are like rowing on a boat past the lotus, so you can see the waves coming and that it doesn't touch the leaf of the lotus. So that's like the idea. The duty without attachment. Why? Because that was the practice. The previous practice was this much. If somebody practices like that, what do you expect? Okay. So then duty without attachment, then he can surrender the results unto the Supreme Lord. This is the classical Karma Yoga. You see? This is like the classical Karma Yoga thing. Okay. So if you can do that. Nishtha, go on.
Prabhuji, how Karma Yoga is different from Nishkarma Yoga? I mean, while I was reading, I was getting confused a lot, revising it back. When we talk of Karma Yoga, it's, as per my
Nishkam.
understanding, Nishkam Karma Yoga, as per my understanding, it was when you're performing action, but you do not want the result to be with you, you're surrendering it to Lord.
This
And when
one.
we talk of Karma Yoga, we are aware that there is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we still want certain things with ourselves. So if that is the case, then how come Karma Yoga is applicable over here and but not the Nishkam
This one is the Nishkam Karma.
Nishkam Karma Yoga, right?
Yeah, that's why I said the classical Karma Yoga was then see Karma Yoga, that what you are talking about. In any case, the Karma Yoga, the person does not have any clear idea about the Supreme Personality of God. He only has the idea of Brahma, something that is supreme. That much he has. Okay. Here also, you see, unto the Supreme Lord, you see. Now it is coming to the Supreme, not yet Supreme Personality. See the previous one, it was Brahmani, only the Supreme. Now it is coming Supreme Lord. That means the Brahma is a person. If he's not Lord, if he's only Supreme, something is Supreme. But how can somebody be a Lord? Lord means master. Master means person. So now it's he has graduated from the concept of the Brahma to the concept of Saguna Brahma. That was the Nirguna Brahma, the impersonal Brahma, the Karma Yogi, what you were talking about. He had a concept of the Supreme, but the Supreme was impersonal. Now here, the Supreme is personal. Still he doesn't know. But at least he has graduated to the idea that is not impersonal, but it's a person. So that's why, because he's a person, he can surrender the results to that person. Getting my point? Whereas in the Karma Yoga, when he was like talking about the Brahma, he was working without that attachment. Because there was no concept of surrendering, because there is no object of surrender. Whom to surrender to? So this, like you see, gradually he is coming up. So yeah, go on, Nishtamaji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Krishna
Pranam.
Premaji, go on.
This Supreme Lord, is it Paramatma or
Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. See, it's Brahmani. So it's not yet Paramatmeti. It's not yet Paramatmeti. It's still Brahma. You see, Brahmani, Adhaya Karmani. It's not yet Paramatma. Paramatma is a real step ahead. Paramatma is a real step
In
ahead.
between Brahma and Paramatma.
No, it is Brahma. But now the Brahma has got transcendental qualities. That's why he is a person, Supreme Lord. When you're talking about just the Supreme, so he has, he doesn't have any like features, any qualities. It doesn't know. Jyoti Mataji, like who should I? Give me a second, like this. Just give me a second. This electricity. Just give me a second. But I can hear you. Please go on.
Prabhuji, I had two questions actually, not in context with this.
Go on.
The first question was like in one class we are told like everything we should offer to Krishna, right? Means even if we are buying new clothes, we should offer it to Krishna. So this thing was lingering in my mind, like should be like how we for the acceptor for Krishna to accept it, we keep tulsi leaf on the bhoga. So on the cloth or anything, like should we keep tulsi leaf or like that only we should just mentally offer?
Just give it to Krishna. That's okay. It's like when you're doing arti, you are waving the
Yes,
cloth.
yes,
Are you putting up tulsi leaf? No.
no,
It's only for eating. When it's
yeah,
something eatable is there, then it's like that. Otherwise, you can directly give the gift. Just like in
okay,
temple, you see, many times people bring so many things for
yeah,
Krishna. Yeah, we directly offer. It's a gift. It's not that Krishna only eats. He can also receive gifts.
yeah. Just this thing was lingering in my mind, so I thought of asking.
Yeah, it's a good question. Very good question. Very
Thank
practical
you.
question. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
These are the kind of questions, and you get these kind of questions, it's like brings you back from this, like, like sometimes things getting a little dry, and you bring me back directly to Krishna. Thank you. Okay, Nishtha Maji, go on.
Prabhuji, the example which Jyoti Mataji gave just now, um, while we were discussing, it came under karm sannyas, right? Okay.
Which one?
And
Which one?
this one,
Jyoti Mataji.
I mean, offering one came under karm
But
sannyas,
no, no,
right?
no, that is direct devotion service. But Jyoti Maji was
That
asking
is
a question from second chapter when we were discussing
oh,
because second chapter had elements of direct devotional service. But that is the Bhagavad Gita summarized. See, so there were some verses which had direct devotional service, and there we were discussing this. Yeah, it was like quite previous to what we were discussing now. From since third chapter, we are discussing karma, then we're discussing jnana, and now we are discussing nishkam karma at present. Too many concepts, I know that. Because Arjuna asked for it. Don't blame me, blame it all on him. Gradually things will settle. That's where Krishna, see, if we don't have this purpose, we'll be completely lost. What are we supposed to do? That's why whenever we go to the purport, we find that, okay, fine. This sounds familiar. I can do this. Because it's taking you back to like Krishna and bringing you back to what you need to do. See, that's why he's talking about Isha here. Ishavasam sarvam. That's what he's talking about. So that's like something which is doable.
Prabhuji, is it possible? May you give one example of karm sannyas?
Karma sannyas. Yeah, it's like you are renouncing the work. Karma sannyas means that you are renouncing the work and also renouncing the result of the work. Both things are, see, the how you do practice it is in the mind. Getting my point? You are like, it's like anybody can stop working, but that is not renouncing work. Like you have to renounce the result of the work from the mind. Then it is renunciation. If you stop working, And if you're not able to renounce that from the mind, immediately you will be implicated for not doing your duty and you'll go to hell. That's exactly what 241 is saying. Mahasteso asango ate akarmani. If you try to stop work, you will fall into the category of not doing your duty. Directly hell. So that's karma sannyas. That's why karma sannyas is the most difficult part. That's what Krishna is saying. Not to, that's like work in devotion, better to work in devotion.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And thank you, Maji. Kayana manasa buddhaya. You see, these are the three levels. Sangam tattva. Now you will see this word, Sangam tattva. You will see this at least 20 times in Bhagavad Gita. Sangam tattva, Sangam tattva, Sangam tattva. The Sangam tattva means renunciation, renouncing bad company. Actually, Sangam tattva means renouncing, basically it's all about the mind. It's all about the mind. Anyway, go on, Mashata. Haribol. Where is she?
I guess
Mamun?
she left Prabhuji.
Oh, she left. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we need another volunteer maybe to continue. Nisha, go on, Maji.
The yogis abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification.
Yes. So you see, gradually, like we are seeing the yogi. So now, what is that yogi? The Nishkam Karma yogi. Okay. So he's just now. That's here where it stops. It's like a summary. You see if you go to the first verse. You see? Sounds similar. Never entangled. Come to the 12th. Again, talks about something similar. It's just like ease. It's not a Bhagavad Gita is unsystematic. Some people think like that. It's not like that. Krishna is very systematic when he's talking about this, you see. So, the previous one. Sorry, this one. Only for the purpose of purification. That's why we're talking about the purpose of purification, not spiritualization. Remember? We discussed that. That's why we discussed that at the outset. Okay. All right. Go on. Verse number 12.
The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me. Whereas a person who's not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled.
So then, like there's the do's and the don'ts. So who is attaining? The steadily devoted soul attaining unadulterated peace, not devotion. You see, Shanta. Okay. So you see here, Yukta Karma Phalam, Yaktva Shanti Mapnoti. You will again see the Shanti Mapnoti and Shanti Mrichati. We'll see in the last verse. So it's like, see, this is how, see, Kam Karena Phale, that is Sakta. He is attached. Sakta or Asakta is the same thing. Whereas this person, see, Prabhupada is saying one who is engaged in devotional service. But the verse itself, when you're translating, is not saying devotional service. The soul is devoted to unadulterated peace, attain steady. So it's just, bordering, because actually you don't get any result unless and until there is a tinge of devotion service. That's a fact, actually. That's why you cannot get around it. Sarva karmani manasa. Go on. Okay, now we are going to the next part. Okay, this is a very interesting thing. The relationship with the jiva. I'll try see if I can make a diagram out of this. Go on.
Okay, Prabhuji. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all action, he resides happily in the city of nine gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. City of nine gates. Okay. So he's seeing who is living is the embodied living entity. Is the embodied living entity, the Baddha, okay, or the Jiva Bhuta. Okay? There are two terms. Get used to these two terms, Sanskrit terms. You can also write them down. What is called Jiva Bhuta? You will see it many times in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna uses the term Jiva Bhuta. Okay. So Bhuta is not Bhuta, okay, the ghost. Okay. The word Bhuta means one who is attached to matter. Panchabhuta. Okay. So it's not Bhuta doesn't means it's like just like Lord Shiva is addressed as Bhuteshwar. People think, oh, king of the master of the ghosts. No, that's not the full meaning. Bhuteshwar means the Lord of all the universe. Bhuta. So it's just not just limited to this. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead and go back to.
Prabhuji, which is the
Oh,
other
and
term?
the other one. Sorry, yeah, I remembered. I was reminded of. The other term is Brahma Bhuta. Okay, Brahma Bhuta, the liberated jiva. The liberated jiva is called Brahma Bhuta, and Jiva Bhuta means the conditionally. Good. So let's go back. So this city of nine gates, like this, there is whole section in fourth canto Bhagavatam about the city of nine gates. Okay, the story of Prachin Barishat, and then the story, yeah, that's basically the story of Prachin Barishat, and in that the story of Puranjan comes. So this is whole Bhagavatam fourth canto, big section is talking about the city of nine gates. Prabhupada is, using this. Navadvara, this is of course the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, but Prabhupada is using city of nine gates. It's just obviously it's just an analogy, but yeah. All right. Go on. He's talking about the city of the nine gates, continuing the concept of city of nine gates. Go on.
Text 14. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material.
See, coming back to the same thing. If the jiva wants to be free, he must learn to see this. That it is not the jiva who is doing that, but it is being done by the three modes of material nature. Without the help of the three modes of material nature, the jiva cannot even lift a finger. There are the three modes of material nature. Because the three modes of material, it is with the three modes of material nature that the all the senses are made out of that. The sense objects are made out of that. Okay. So they are interacting amongst themselves. Okay. What is that called? It's a very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita. Same thing is saying. Forgetting that. use that for a while actually. Guna guneshu. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. Guna guneshu vartante. One guna, one like quality or one mode of material nature is engaging with another mode of material nature. Vartante. Iti matva, knowing this, matva means knowing this, na sajjate. He doesn't engage. He stays away. These are all, you see, these are all mental practice. Whenever you read that and you don't understand it, how am I to do this? You are not to do this with your hands, with your legs. With your, you are supposed to use this one. That's why those people who perform these kind of yoga, this kind of path, they generally keep quiet. That's why those people you will always see, for them, they prefer mauna. And even that's why the first lesson Rupa Goswami also gives us is Vacho Vegam. So ours is not that harsh, but these Gyanmargis, they have to be very harsh on that. That's why sometimes you see these kind of people, they will be keeping mauna for a year. Because if you talk too much, you cannot do these, you cannot concentrate on these things. Okay. All right. Now the last one. Go on.
Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge.
So it's neither the Jiva nor the Supreme Lord. He has to know that. See, again, he's saying Supreme Lord. Still, it is not personality of Godhead or the localized Paramatma, still Supreme Lord. You see? So he understands, if he understands this, understand means what? He practices that this is the modes which are acting. I am not involved, neither is the Supreme Lord involved. If he thinks, if he doesn't understand, if he thinks like, oh, it's Krishna who is doing that, then again he will be entangled. You see? Because he's blaming Krishna now. Again he will be entangled. So I think here is something, I think something very worthwhile. I think I might go a little bit extra time today. I might require that, but because this concept needs to be kind of, like, wait. It's my laptop is not properly functioning because it's too much. Okay. I think now it should work. All right. Let's do this. All right. Sorry. Okay. Is this visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. Can you see this? Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
So now let's see what is the relationship between these three. So that's what it's talking about. Paramatma. We saw the modes of material nature. This is nature, and we talked about the jiva. Supreme Lord. Ishwar means Supreme Lord. Embodied jiva and prakriti. Right? Modes of material nature. That's what we are discussing. The past 3-4 verses. Is this clear? These are the three topics that came into. Talked about Ishvara. The Supreme Lord. We talked about the Jiva. Jiva Bhuta, that's why I said Jiva Bhuta, Brahma Bhuta. And this is modes of material nature or nature. Prakriti. Okay. So now, whenever Ishvara and Prakriti works amongst themselves, the via media of the work is called okay. This is what it is. All right. And the interaction between the jiva and the prakriti, what might that be? Any idea? It's actually not difficult.
Desire.
Yes, desire is okay. Yeah, you are correct. Desire.
All the three gunas,
Karma.
Sattva, Rajas,
Who
Tamas.
said that? Who said that?
Prabhuji.
I
Karma.
also. Sattva, Rajas,
Who's that?
Tamas.
I couldn't see the I. It was Devika?
No,
Yes, and I guess Nishtha Mataji also.
right.
Precisely. Because desire is a karma. Is it not? Desire is an action, Baba. Desire is an action, no? All right. So what do we have here now? What do we have here? Oh, it's not gonna work. Okay. What do we have here now?
Devotional service.
Where?
There.
What are these five? What are these five things? Any idea? Go on, Shiva Prabhu.
These are five topics that are discussed in Bhagavad Gita.
Exactly. These are the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita. That is the relationship. So in these 3 verses, that's what the entire relationship is. There's Ishvara, there's Jiva, and there is Prakriti, nature. God, soul, and nature, and their interactions. When God deals with the nature, it is through the via media of time, because in time, creation comes into being. And in time, it ceases to exist. For nature to exist or nature to be destroyed, time has to exist. If you remove time, then it becomes what? Eternal. Getting my point? If you remove the time factor, then it becomes eternal. It is because of the time that material nature comes into being. So Krishna works through the time to bring material nature into existence. Not the spiritual nature. Spiritual nature is ever existing. Okay. So now in this material nature, when the jiva comes, so what does he have to do? He has to work. It's called karma. Okay. So now, what is the relationship between Ishvara and Jiva? Let's see. These are the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita. What is this? Any idea? Who will close the circle?
Service.
Who said that?
Daya.
Nishta Mataji? Daya. You are actually merciful. Exactly. That's what it is. So when you're talking about this is the relationship between the Jiva and Ishvara. This is the only way he can re-establish his relationship with Ishvara. Okay. That completes the cycle. So Jiva has a relationship with Prakriti and Jiva has a relationship with Ishvara. The embodied Jiva has a relationship with the Prakriti, the Jiva Bhuta. That is called karma. That's why he's trying to get himself liberated from the karma. But if he doesn't have devotional service, what will happen? See, he doesn't have a karma, you see? The Jiva doesn't have a karma now. Where is he? What is the situation? Now we see the Jiva, he does not have a karma. Right? So what will happen to the Jiva? What is this? See?
So can it be inaction as in?
Yes, obviously in action, the Jiva has been liberated of his karma. Somehow by Gyan Marg, he has liberated himself from the karma. Right? So where he is now? Shubham, go on.
Brahmajyoti.
Brahma, yeah, he's back to where he was. You see? Status quo. He comes back to the status quo. He is not going here. He is not going here. He is coming back here because previously he was somewhere here. So he has liberated himself. So he comes back to his original position, which is the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Jiva is Brahma, right? So you remain Brahmasmi. Till the time the Jiva does not establish a relationship based on devotional service, he is not going anywhere. And there is every chance that the Jiva can come back here. Because he's not going there. He's not going here. So what options does he have? He only has 2 options, this one and this one.
Dandvat Pranam, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Go
Where
on,
is the
Mataji.
position of Maya in this
This one?
diagram?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Clear? So that's why all these things, so many people, they are like breaking their heads. You will find in ISKCON, especially in ISKCON, where did the Jiva came from? We are coming from Golok Vrindavan. So then we fell from Golok Vrindavan. After we fell from Golok Vrindavan, we are going back to Golok Vrindavan. And now I do not know whether I can fall again. Okay, what happens, Prabhuji, if I fall again? So if I'm going to fall again, what is the point of going back? Let us stay here. Okay. So all this rubbish is coming because of this. Okay. So it's because we don't understand the position of Krishna. In order to understand the position of Jiva, first we need to understand the position of Krishna because it starts there, not with us. See? Okay. So let's move ahead now. Really need to move
Prabhuji,
ahead.
where is the position of Maya in this diagram?
That's Maya.
Prakriti,
Well,
Apara?
both
Para
para
and
and
Prakriti?
both para and apara. It depends how you see it, because you see, good question. See, from the standpoint of the jiva, it is apara. But from the standpoint of Krishna, where is it? Standpoint of Krishna, it is para. It's para. Why should Krishna deal with apara? Krishna will deal with para. And under the influence of time, it acts like apara for the jiva. See, that's why the same Prakriti, when Krishna comes, it starts working differently. You see, that's why.
Right.
That's why Prakriti, see, these things, Prakriti, Kal, Ishvara and Jiva, all four of them, they are eternal. Only the karma is not eternal. It is beginningless, but it has an end. You see, everything else has got a beginning. If I had to make this diagram like this, maybe it will help us. Wait, it's like becoming a little more mathematical, but it's just the way it is. You know, if I have to make this diagram again, I would say like this, okay? Like this. Like this. Like this. And like this. Getting my point? So the karma, it's like only, where do I do this? The karma, you can say, it's only by saying it's infinity. But here it is not infinity. You see this line segment. That means the karma can be stopped. This is also infinity. Okay. Only this pair here, it can be stopped. If the karma is positive infinity and negative infinity, then nobody is going back anywhere. Because the karma will continue and the jiva will be here till eternity. But we don't know how the karma originated. But we do know the karma can be terminated. And that's why we are executing devotional service. That's how it is. I don't know if I made it even more complicated, but I'm just... Why, Baby Maji? Go on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can we not understand through mathematical process? Because I'm really bad in that. It's quite difficult for me to
I'm
understand
not...
that way.
Forget these, or forget all of that. Forget all of that. It's not required. Forget that. Even I'm very poor with maths. Just forget it. Okay, forget it. Most of here are like anyway MBBS students. They're all doctors because they didn't like maths. So it's just don't worry about it.
I have
You are not
questions.
alone. I know that. That makes three of us.
No, that is not related to mathematics. That is like we said on Jiva, when karma is not there, Jiva is on a position of Brahm. Okay.
Yes.
Then from that point, how he or she can go to like furthermore, or that is a final.
Based on desire. Based on desire. Based on desire. this desire, that desire, see, devotional service. Prabhupada is nicely explaining devotional service in Bhagavatam first canto. He says, devotional service is the purest form of desire. Desire one must. So if you are desiring for Krishna, you go to that place. You're desiring for Maya, you come to this place. It's all desire. It's all
Another
desire.
question. At times, subtle body is there, or that is also
No.
gone?
No, that's the liberation is there. Liberation means when you saw the 0, 0 point, that means here, when we say that there is no devotional service, there is no karma. That is, you are freed from a subtle body.
Okay.
That's when you are back in the Brahma. So, one acquires subtle body when he comes to the material world. But as soon as one is in the Brahma, he doesn't have. Yeah, we say desire for Krishna consciousness, desirelessness, so many things can say. It's because, like these, because actually you see what happens. Material words or the dictionary, after all, after a point in time, it becomes like it is insufficient to describe spiritual phenomena. Because after all, they are just words. That's why. Yes, Nishtamaji, have a question or you are gonna move ahead?
Prabhuji, you have a question. I was waiting for
Go
text
on.
13, 14, and 15 to be over.
All
So,
right.
Prabhuji, sorry.
It's
Text
one and
number
the same thing.
Prabhuji, text number 12, when we discussed about it, there, where the word-to-word meaning is being given, there for Yukta, you stated that it is being written one who is engaged in devotional services. But when we come to
Yes.
translation, there you have stated
So there.
that the steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace, but not devotion. But if we come to the next line of it, it again offers the result of all activities to me. So how do we suppose to understand this usage of me
Yeah.
over here?
Yes, because the word me means like, like Krishna is saying, he doesn't know. Like, I can see that what he's doing. So it is important for him to know. You see, that's the point. If he doesn't know, it doesn't see. So far, Krishna is concerned, he knows always. He knows everything. But that is not helping the matter. What the devotional service starts from the part of the devotee, not from the part of Krishna. He has to know. Because he does not know, that's why this is happening. So that's why Krishna is actually jumping, you got to know me, kind of, that is not working. Okay, Mahashweta is back. Mahashweta, would you like to reclaim?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I am all right
Please,
with anything.
wait. No, I'm just asking. It's just like, just in case if you. Okay. So then now we are in verse number 16. Let's go there. Okay. Go on.
Did
Yeah,
I
16.
or somebody was reading?
Yeah, Neshtamaji was reading anyways.
Okay.
She
Mataji,
was
what would you
reading.
like?
No, it's
Prabhuji, it's all
it's
right.
okay.
You may continue. I'll take it tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, I generally try to, try to tire one person for a day. Like one day I tried Usha, since that day she didn't raise her hand. And there was somebody, so then one day.
Prabhuji, from last 3 classes, I've been raising my hand.
Oh, so then you continue. Oh, tomorrow is your turn. Nishtamaji,
Tomorrow
nobody
it's
is going
mine.
to, it's your turn. Yeah,
Tomorrow
you've got
it's mine.
47 classes. Okay, go on.
Okay. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime.
It's like, automatic. That's why the word automatically is used. Automatically actually means naturally. They're just like, and just like the sun lights up, means what? It gradually lights up the things. So that's how it happens. The liberation, the enlightenment, enlightenment, what we call enlightenment. So what is that like? How does it we will see that even more. Yeah, again, when we will be discussing nectar devotion. So say for example, what is that example? What we used to do is this prism. Remember, like the science students must be remembering. We used to make this, like this box and black box, and then you will only have, like we just like poke a needle into that, and then we will see the different rays of lights, and then we will see the whipwire. What was it known as? I forgot.
Spectrum. Spectrum.
Yeah, the spectrum. Yeah, the spectrum.
Yeah. The prism experiment, I believe.
Yeah, the prism. Yeah, the prism. Yeah, the prism spectrum experiment. Okay. So now, when there's this black box, the back box, okay, and we just poke one needle. Can we see that there is light? Can we see there's illumination? Yes. Okay. So can we see by that light? Is the light enough for us to see something? No. But can we see that there is darkness anymore? No. That is how it works. So even if there is one ray of light, the darkness is gone. Then you might require enough light to see. So here you see, this is exactly how it is going on. Nations is destroyed, at least. Then means it's the next stage. At the first stage, the nations is destroyed. The darkness or the ignorance is destroyed. Not that there is like it's full of light. Then his knowledge reveals everything. So this is exactly how it happens in Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So one ray of light is compared to Bhava Bhakti, and the full sun itself is Prema Bhakti. The same way, in Gyan Marg also, when the ignorance is destroyed, first the ignorance is destroyed by the ray of the liberation. And then he is fully inside that Brahma. That's called Brahmananda. You see, as the sun lights up. So that's what it is, light. That's why you will see most of these Brahmavadis, they focus, their logos are generally made of sun, light. They're talking about, like all illumination. That's why they always talk about this. Unceasing, unending light. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, go on.
When one's intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation.
Yes, you see, again, you see, it's like because it's all Gyan Marg going on, it's fixed in the Supreme. Mind is fixed in the Supreme, intelligence fixed in the Supreme, faith now. It was not mentioned before this. Did you see the term faith before this in Bhagavad Gita? Not yet. Now is coming. Faith and refuge. Why is it saying refuge? Because if he doesn't take refuge now, he will fall down. You see? So now it's talking about refuge, some sort of refuge. And that refuge is only possible when he understands the personal aspect of the Brahma. You're gonna take refuge with impersonal, right? Something which is impersonal. You see? So that's impersonal is very difficult. It's like somebody has become impersonal. That becomes like So then he becomes fully cleansed. See, only after he takes refuge, he becomes cleansed of his misgivings, straight on the path of liberation. If he has not taken the refuge, is not fully cleansed, at that time he thinks that he has become cleansed. And that's why he falls down. This is actually the most, what do you call that? Delicate part of Gyan Marg. You see, most delicate part of Gyan Marg. That's why here is talk Krishna Prabhupada is not letting anything to chance. He's saying, you see, Matta Paradaram Nanya, Brahmano Pratishtha. It's just like you take to my refuge, otherwise you will fall down. You see? That's why he's saying impersonal Brahma is supported, Brahmano Pratishtha. So if he doesn't take refuge on this path, he'll fall down. It's very now you see Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Kavyastini Sunichaiva Sapakecha Pandita Savadashina. Go on, Mahashwata.
The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, outcast.
You see? So why? Now he has developed equal vision. You see the stages which he has crossed. So if you like, there is this tendency generally to pull out any one verse from Bhagavad Gita and then like try to discuss, oh, how do you become Pandita? You become Pandita by coming from that stage. That kind of Pandita. It's not somebody who has a Shikha has become Pandita. Somebody has a Brahman thread becomes Pandita. It's just fooling you. Okay. Then you can become Samadarshi. It's just Brahma Bhuta stage actually. He has realized he's not a Jiva Bhuta anymore. He's a Brahma Bhuta now. Okay. All right. Go on, Nadji.
Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman.
No difference. One who is like Brahman is situated in Brahman. One who acts like fire is fire. See, if something tastes salty, that's salt. No, no questions asked. See? It may not be sodium chloride, but rock salt has got a different composition. But regardless, you see, so that's what it's talking about. If it can act on the platform of Brahma, it is Brahma. Finish. Sameness, equanimity. These are like, see, that's why you will see that the impersonalists generally talk about these. But actually, these are the property of devotees. Because these are the 26, one of the 26 qualities of the devotees. Samatvam. But generally, it has been hijacked by the impersonalists. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Wow, go on.
A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the signs of God, is already situated in transcendence.
So you will see, it's like these verses, it's like we are finding it in it's like in 20th verse, we are reading these things. But you will see the same kind of verses very same kind of verses in 12th chapter, verse number 13 to 19. Almost same. Because two kinds of sets of transcendentalists, as we say, you see, the personalist and the impersonalist. The qualities are same, only that the destination, because of their disposition, is different. Otherwise, these are the same thing. Neither rejoices, you see, nor laments, sochati kangshati. Because it's detached. He is talking about this. See, this is one thing. This is one important thing. I should have done that on the very first day. Whenever you are reading Bhagavad Gita, for that time, okay, for that, like, say, for example, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it is, just assume that I am soul. It becomes very easy to read Bhagavad Gita. The first thing which, before you start reading Bhagavad Gita, you assume that I am soul. And then you read it, it will make sense. But if you read the Bhagavad Gita and if you haven't done that, it's like same thing. It's like you do mathematics, let x be equal to 1. And finally, we will find the value of x or value of y, whatever the axis is. But if you don't do that, let x be equal to 1, you will never be able to find the actual value of x. So if you do not start Bhagavad Gita, while start the reading Bhagavad Gita, that this is the tapasya, this is like an austerity. So like for next 15 minutes, 100 minutes, whatever it is, let me assume that I am soul. Then when you read these things, it will start making sense. Except for example, in 9th chapter, you will see that Krishna will say that my devotee never perishes. Like I give him whatever he lacks, and I preserve whatever he have. And then when I see myself, when I see that, Prabhu, I lost so much money, or like I got so much, I got under so much debt, or whatever. That Krishna is not helping. This is not working on me. Yes, it is not working on your body. It is not supposed to work on your body. Because when you are thinking Krishna will protect my devotee, you are thinking the devotee is the body. So unless and until you start with Dehinosmin Yatha Dehi, and you have to keep yourself on that platform for the time being. It's just like like when you used to were very young and you wanted to become taller, and we used to like hang by the bars. So you have to keep hanging by the bar. Ultimately, you will leave it and you will come to the ground. But till that time, you are on that bar. You have to like hang by that bar, so that somehow, till that moment, you are kind of like you are increasing your height. That's all. Similarly, you cannot continuously be there. It's very difficult. Okay. Why? By practice, you can maintain that longer and longer and longer. But for the time being, that means what? It is very difficult for you to stay on the platform of I am spirit soul. It's very difficult. So for the time being, you are reading, you stay on that platform, then you leave it. Gradually, you will increase by practice. It's like in the gym. It can hold on for longer duration time. For longer duration time, you can hold on to the fact, idea that I'm spirit soul. Then these things will make sense. The moment you have forgotten that I am spirit, it's talking about the spirit soul. What is going on? Sure. Okay. All right. So that's it. It's self-intelligent, transcendental. Oh, somebody sent a question, I believe. Oh, Haripremaji, what is equanimity? Yeah. Equanimity means samatvam, which means like, these are smaller things that tolerating heat and cold. Actually, equanimity means that the world I have got nothing to do with the world, the soul. He has to detach whatever is going on. And he cannot do that if he is thinking that he is the intelligence. Certainly not in the mind, if even is thinking that it is intelligence. Or even subtler, if he is thinking of me, I, that is the false ego. In terms of the false ego, he cannot detach. It's very different. So these are all, you see, in the mind, use of intelligence of the mind to continuously practice that kind of thing. Then you can get that kind of equanimity. That's why the devotional path, it takes a different route to achieve the same kind of equanimity. We see everybody as Krishna's servants. Either he is serving or he is not serving. Some of them are active servants, the others are not active servants, inactive servants. And it becomes a little easier. But otherwise, that idea of seeing oneself as soul, others as soul, it's difficult. It's not easy. And Krishna is saying that's difficult. I'm not saying it's difficult. He's saying that's difficult. All right. So let's cover the remaining section. Still about 9 verses to go. Go on, Mataji. Go
Such a
on,
liberated
Master.
person Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme.
You see, this is what it is. He has self realized, but he is concentrating on the Supreme, not Lord, Brahmananda. Okay. Gyan Margi has reached his destination because he's liberated and he is enjoying unlimited happiness. So what is that happiness of the Supreme? That is not the Ananda of the Bhakti. It's the Ananda of Brahma. Brahma Ananda. Okay. So liberated soul. ये ही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुख यो न एवते आद्यंतवंता कौन्तेय ना तेषु रमते बुधा. It's one of the very important verses of Bhagavad Gita. Go on.
An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them.
Always the wise man, not the devotee. Intelligent person, the wise man. You see? Yes, ye sansparshaja bhoga. So this contact of the material senses, he does not take part. So is the sense contacting the sense objects while this is happening? Is the sense contacting with the sense object? Is the tongue contacting the sweet or the tangy thing? Is it contacting, right? So that means what? That is contacting this. I am not helping the contact. The practice is to keep yourself out of it. And you will think, how is it that I am picking up the ice cream and putting it inside my mouth? How am I not contacting? Yes, that is why we are all entangled. That's the difference between Durvasa. He practiced that. So he ate everything. He was not part of it. That was matter. That went into matter. That's all. As soon as you say, I am experiencing a taste, who is experiencing the taste? The mind is experiencing the taste. Mind is dead matter. Intelligence is experiencing the taste. It cannot experience the taste. Intelligence can only analyze the taste. So who is experiencing the taste? Getting my point. So I, the soul, am thinking that I am experiencing the taste. And because of that thinking, I stay here because that kind of thinking, till the end of my life, I'm thinking. That's the point. I keep on thinking one after another, and I'll stay there. That's why the Buddhism, they aim to stop that thing. No mind. Here, they are not saying to stop the thinking. They are saying, now, he, like by this, he can see that he is not part of this. And there is a concept of the Supreme, the Brahma, the light, you go on that. So that's why it's like higher than Buddhism. It goes there. And that's it. Yes, Vaibhavi go on.
Hare Krishna,
We must
Prabhuji. So
finish this today.
I want to share one thing that as we are discussing Buddhism, I have been practicing this mandala. They had this in Buddhism. So I have gone through the process of this mandala. So they taught us these things that you create a beautiful mandala of a sand or some matter, and you create it for 8 days or a week or take minimum hours, and then you remove it. You just wash it away, so it doesn't makes you feel attached to that thing.
Yes. And then, chant the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, and gradually. Yeah. So
Yes.
it becomes even to more extreme when you go to Jainism. That takes an even more harsher form. Then that if you are not this body, so then you are not this body. So the bodily pain and pleasure should not affect you. So you can tear off your nails, you can tear off your hairs, and yes, it is paining. That pain is in the mind. You are not the mind. So that's how you start detaching yourself. And then finally, that's what you call that thing when they will, they'll go inside a cave and they will put a rock on that cave. That's it. And they won't eat and drink and they will leave their body like that. Because they will do that so that even if some act like they feel that sometimes what's like Maya attacking, so they should not have the strength to push that rock out and come outside and then come back to their meditation and complete the cycle and then finish that. That's called the nirvana stage. Yeah. So that's another kind of thing. All right. So let's move on. Let's finish this. I think we must finish this today. Go on, Mashita.
Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world.
You see, now they're like breaking it down. These are like lower things now. These are like lower things. It's not higher things. The higher things were mentioned in the previous verse. It is saying before giving up this present body, while he is in the body. See, that liberation comes when you die. You see? As we discussed, for all the other practices, you have to die first. In Gyan Marg, in Karma Kanda, you have to die first. So while you are in this world, you can be situated and is happy. Okay. Go on. 24.
One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme.
You see, liberated in the Supreme and ultimately attains the Supreme. So if he is in the Supreme, how can he attain the Supreme? So in the Supreme, he is liberated in that means because he has got that tendency of Sayujya Mukti. Okay. So Gyan Marg is that's what they are, Sayujya. Okay. So that's why he's within. Now the within is what? What is that within? One whose happiness is within. What is that? It is talking about the one. Who is the one? The one is the soul. And if it says within, what is within the soul?
Mind,
What is the
body,
within?
intelligence.
Yeah, that's exactly wrong. That is the body.
Nothing
Yeah,
is
See?
gap.
That's why I said the one. That's why I said, you see, you must keep hanging to that bar while you're reading Bhagavad Gita. The one is the soul. The soul does not have any mind, but mind, intelligence, body. It is covered by that. So what is within now? The within and without of soul is the same. There's nothing within the soul. The soul is within everything. You see? So when he's talking about the happiness is within, that means he is getting some idea of Paramatma. Because rejoices within. Within what? With what? Is getting some idea of Paramatma. Inward, past perfect, mystic. Janmargi. Okay? It's like you see Krishna within Krishna. See? Something is within Krishna, within Krishna. That itself means he doesn't have any idea of Krishna. There's nothing called within and without Krishna. Within, without is same. Okay. Similarly, it's like this. There's nothing within now. It's liberated. Brahma Bhuta, you see? See, Prabhupada is writing. This stage is called Brahma Bhuta. That's why I said you write these two terms. Jiva Bhuta and Brahma Bhuta. Ah, yes. Okay. Go
When I
on.
when I read it first, I actually thought that, it's a connection between me, which is the soul, and the Sirodakshai Vishnu. So
Yeah,
that's how
it
I
can
read
be.
it.
Yeah, it can be. If like the target is not Brahma,
Hmm.
then it will go to that side. Then it will go to the Paramatma side. That's how it
Okay.
works.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme.
See, now what it is saying. This is how you can start the Jnana Marga. You see? This is just it's like all things put into one. Dualities, minds within, busy working for the welfare of all living entities, free from sins. You see? So this is like more like the lifestyle. He will achieve. What is given in the previous verses is like the highest stage, how he is like now inside the Brahma. Now he is like rejoicing the Brahma. He is the Brahma, part of the Brahma. It's like that. But now, like Krishna again comes back and says, see, these are the things you need to do. Okay. How you begin things. Okay. See, that's like he's saying. Prabhupada is saying, a person engaged only ministering physical cannot help, can help anyone, cause of difficulty, all of these things. Okay. So that's how you start it. Go on.
Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self realized, self disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future.
Very near future. Very near future. So you see, that's why if you combine these two verses, then you get the hang of it. Like he is working like this, he is practicing like this. This is practice. Beyond the duality, it's a practice. Whose mind dwells within, it's a practice. Who is doing these things and trying to remain free from sins. And you continue that. Continue that verse to the next, and then you see free from anger, material desire. You see practice. Self-disciplined. You see, if you're self-realized, what do you need the discipline for? You're already self-realized. No, because it's part of those disciplining going on. Because he's constantly, here is the key, endeavoring for perfection. So the previous verse and the next verse are actually connected. They are part of like one conversation. It's one dialogue. So that therefore he will attain that in very near future. Achirena. Let me see if it says Achirena. No, no, no. Very near future. Prabhupada is giving this. So it's like assured. Abhi, yeah, Abhita. Abhita. It also means Abhita also means not to be afraid because you'll get it. That's the idea. You'll get it. And these verses what Prabhupada is using are like absolute devotional service. That Pada Pankaja Palasha Vilasha Bhaktya is just like this is like uh, four Kumaras. Chiyamaji must be must be recognizing one of your memory verses from Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Vaibhava. All right. This is also something very beautiful. Mashwata, can you read this part of the translation?
Definitely. Definitely. By vision, by meditation, and by touch only, do the fish, the tortoise, and the birds maintain their offspring. Similarly, do I also, O Padmaja.
So Vishnu is speaking to Lakshmi. Padmaja means was born of the lotus, Lakshmi. So just as by vision, by meditation, and by touch, see, just like the fish is in the water, but she, like the fish, have you seen any fish feeding the small fishes like her milk? No. How does the fish takes care of their baby fishes? Just by seeing, just by the vision, it takes care. So the tortoise, what does that tortoise do? The tortoise has his lays her eggs in the sand. But like although the tortoise is inside the water, it's always thinking of this of the eggs inside the sand. So it's maintaining this like that. See, and then this the birds. What do they do? Vihangama. So by touch, it maintains. It also feeds, but like generally you see the hen will sit on the egg and then gradually the egg will hatch. So kind of that. Similarly, Krishna, he can also by vision and by meditation and touch maintains the whole universe. That's the idea. All right, go on. Mashita?
Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence, the transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated.
This is not Gyan Marg anymore. That is yoga.
Yeah.
This is now, yeah, this
the 7 chakras.
Now, like you see, yes, now it is coming from the Gyan Marg to the yoga. Shat chakra yoga. So that's how you do that. But how will you shut out all the external sense objects? You see? So, like the senses, it's all subtle. It's all subtle. Shutting the shutting the 9 gates does not mean, oh my God, it's like, wait, just give me a second. I must answer. Yeah. So The point is, when we think about this Shat Chakra Yoga, obviously it is like people who don't have any experience of that, they will think that mouth is closed, eyes is closed, nostril is closed, you see, and your genitals are closed, and rectum is closed, everything is closed. That's something like they tried in Greece. You see, there was this one mad king in what was that place? There was Athens and there was Sparta. Sparta. He came up with this idea that this evacuation is very unmanly. So what he did, he passed a stricture that nobody can evacuate anymore. And they would, yeah, they in the whole state, they started catching every human being, every citizen basically, and they will take and they will see use this what do you call that? So what do you call that? Lead. Because lead is very easily, it can be, like melted. So they put melted lead on the rectums of, like, especially males, so that they cannot pass, evacuate, because that looks unmanly. So after a few months, people start dying. Because, like, if you cannot pass and it's there inside, gradually, then after a few months, like, they figured it out that, like, everybody is dying because of this. So then stopped it, and then they kind of did something. So in the same way, generally people think that Shat Chakra Yoga means that these things are closed. These are not closed, because these are not senses. What is he talking about? He is talking about senses and sense objects. Senses, you see? Did you see any mention of the term sense organ? Getting my point? So when we are talking about eyes, ears, nose, tongue, all these things, these are not senses, these are sense organs. The senses are part of the subtle body, which is dominated by the sixth sense called the mind. Okay. So it's not like somebody has stopped evacuating, that he has become a yogi now. You don't give them anything to eat, only to drink, or better yet, you just, what do you do that? Like intravenous feeding. You won't evacuate. You only pass water. So this, when you're talking about this Shat Chakra Yoga, it's talking about the senses, which is inside which is the part of the subtle body. And the senses are like tortoise. That's like, it's like this. It's a very subtle thing actually. It is not spiritual, but it is subtle. Daya Maji, do you think like we can have the last verse, finish the verse, and then we can come back?
Yes.
You see, okay. You see, Devika, there is no electricity, but she's still like maintaining there. Hats off to her. Hats off to you, Maji. Okay. Okay. Bhoktaram Yajnatam. This is one of your memory verses. Bhoktaram Yajnatam Sam Sarva Lokam Aishwaram. Svedam Sarva Bhutanam Yatva Sashante Mechati. Go on.
A person
Mashita.
in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries.
So now this is the threshold where the yogi is reaching Shantaras. These are the yogis of Shantaras, who can see the Paramatma and situated in Shantaras. Just like Mahashweta was asking the question. This is the stage. In Shanta, you can see the Paramatma. All right, yeah, Dayamaji, you have your question and then we will finish for the day.
Prabhuji,
Let's
what
see.
is these chakras? I never got it. Only the I
Ah,
chakra.
don't, it's like chakra ke chakkar mein mat pado, random. Chakras are like energy fields within the body. It's like, it's not body. The body means again the subtle body. Okay, it's not the gross body. Like, because like, like here, see, Mashweta, this batch is full of MBBS students and DPT students. God forbid they go and like start dissecting it to try find out what is the chakra. See, so, the chakras, they are like subtle energy fields which are present in the subtle body. And the soul, it uses those subtle, because it has to get out of the subtle body. So it uses the energy fields to basically maneuver itself to higher and more subtler chakras, subtler chakras to the point where it can relieve itself from all the chakras.
Is it
All
possible?
the energy field. Yeah, possible. Difficult, but possible. Very difficult, but possible. Extremely difficult for possible. Practically impossible, but possible. Okay. Also. All
I didn't
right.
get anything.
Come again, Maji.
I didn't get anything. What is this energy field within soul?
Just leave it for now. It's like, like it's coming gradually. You will get to know things, like get to know so many things. It's just like, like it's like people like us who know too much. And then like it's just like you are innocent, it's good.
You are talking things related to these things. That's why I got confused. What is these?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. It's like, yeah, Mashweta
So,
provoked me and
I
I was
am
kind of
so
angry.
sorry to raise
No,
it.
no, not like. It's just like I took the bait. Willingly. Willingly. It's okay. Thank you. Okay. So let's meet up tomorrow and we'll start with the 6th chapter. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. All glories
Thank
to
you,
all the assembled
Prabhuji. Hare
devotees.
Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam to all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.